Now joined by the former Chief Whip of the Conservative Party, Mark Harper, who is a supporter of Rishi Sunak. Mark Harper, good morning to you and thanks for being with us today on All Days. So look, we've heard there from those people in Bristol just how concerned they are. I mean, it's a big job facing whoever gets into that door later today.
It is, and I think the feedback there from those people from Bristol reflected it very well. I think they covered the waterfront, they covered inflation and high energy prices, but they also covered that comment about the NHS, the important challenge facing public services. So it's a big in-tray for whichever of the two candidates wins the contest today.
And whichever of the two, I mean, you're supporting Rishi Sunak. I mean, it's all over by the shouting, isn't it, or by the speech that we're going to hear from Liz Truss later?
Well, look, Liz Truss was the favourite throughout the campaign. But look, let's wait and see the result. We're going to hear the result, I think, at 12:30 today. So, look, let's wait and see there. But whoever wins is going to have to provide a big package of support to help people, like those people that you just interviewed, get through the winter. And as came through from that, it requires help to everybody, but more help targeted at those at the lower end of the income distribution so that we can get through. And I've spent the summer arguing that, as has Rishi Sunak.
But that argument doesn't seem to have been as effective with members as we think. Liz Truss is in the lead, as you rightly point out. And do you think her package of measures is going to be enough?
Well, look, I obviously don't know what she's going to announce. I listened carefully to the interview that she gave yesterday. So she confirmed that there would be a significant package of support if she were to win the contest today. I think that will be necessary. It's very welcome that she said that. And obviously, there does need to be a little bit of time to work through those details. And I think she said that she would lay out that package within a week of becoming Prime Minister, if that's what's announced today.
Yeah, and I guess that she's changed slightly from that line where she was not going to give handouts, and you'll welcome that as well. Now, for the Conservative Party then, Mark Harper, I mean, how optimistic are you that the party can come back together after what's been a very bruising campaign?
Well, look, I think this question about bringing the Conservative Party back together, I think that's going to be a big job for the winner today. You know, obviously the election campaign's been quite bruising, you know, but you get people making those arguments during campaigns. The big question is about how to bring the party together. And I said last week that the best way of doing that, and it's a sign of strength actually, is for the winner of the contest to appoint people to their cabinet from across the party, you know, not just people that supported them, but from people from all wings of the party. If it is Liz Truss, that's what she said she wanted to do during the campaign at a number of the hustings that she did. And in fact, that was very well supported by members of the party. I think party members in the country want the party in Parliament to come together, and that can be best done, I think, with a very broadly based cabinet.
Mr. Harper, you will have seen the reporting over the weekend of who's already been sort of put forward to be in potential cabinet. I mean, it includes people like Ian Duncan-Smith, Jacob Rees-Mogg moving to business, Kwasi Kwarteng as Treasury. I mean, is that the broad breadth of the party that you want to see in this next cabinet?
Well, I don't know who's going to be appointed. I've seen all that speculation in newspapers as well, but there's often...
Would you be happy with those names in those positions?
There's often lots of speculation. I don't know who's going to get appointed. All I'm saying is, from my experience as a former government chief whip in terms of managing the parliamentary party, if you've got a very broadly based cabinet, so accounting for people, not just people that supported the winner, then that's most likely to have a unified and cohesive parliamentary party. And I think given all of the challenges facing the winner of this contest this winter, I think that will be the best way of a successful outcome for the Conservative Party and the Conservative government.
And in that sort of spirit, if Rishi Sunak was offered a job, perhaps not the job he's had before, and maybe not as high-profile a job, do you think he should take it in the spirit of unity of the party?
Well, look, I can't speak for him. I mean, he was asked this question and made the point that you do have to, if you're going to be a member of the cabinet, be able to support the main thrust of the government's policies. So, you know, that will be a decision for him if that is indeed what happens. But look, I'm not going to speak for him. But I think a broadly based government that reflects all views in the parliamentary party, I think, is the best way of bringing the party together.
I mean, is there a concern that if we don't see Rishi Sunak in some kind of role and you don't see the sort of broad base of support across the party in a Truss cabinet, that people could start working against them? We've already seen some reporting of that this weekend in the papers, that there already are plots in place to try and unseat her.
Well, look, I don't think that would be helpful. I think it's much better if we can all get behind the winner of the contest today, whoever that is. There's a huge challenge facing the country. I think voters and indeed the party members who've taken part in this contest want to see the party come together. Responsibility, I think, falls on the new leader of the party and the new Prime Minister to make good appointments, and then it's for people in the parliamentary party also to get behind them, making the arguments and winning over support from the public and putting in place a package of support that's necessary for the enormous challenge that's facing households up and down the country.
Yeah, and in the reporting of that package that could be coming is the fact that prices would be frozen. I mean, that is a policy that the power companies have put in place, and of course, very vocally, the Labour Party have been calling for the past couple of weeks. So is that what the Conservatives are going to do? Just take another Labour policy?
Well, look, I don't know what the new Prime Minister is going to set out. I think for me, the most important thing is that we put in place a significant package of support to enable ordinary men and women up and down the country to be able to meet their energy bills.
Would you support
and their other costs.
a freeze on prices, as has been suggested in some of the papers this morning?
Well, look, energy companies themselves set out that as one possible way of dealing with this. It has pros and cons. Direct support to consumers has pros and cons. I don't know when they've looked at all the numbers and all of the factors what the new Prime Minister is going to come out with. The most important thing is that people listening to this programme know that a significant package of help is coming to enable them to get through the winter and to be able to pay their energy bills. Exactly how that happens is the second order question. The most important thing is that significant package of support is on its way.
OK, Mark Harper, former Chief Whip and supporter of Rishi Sunak. Appreciate your time this morning, so thank you so much for being with us.
Pleasure.